That's perfect. That's perfect. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Is everything fine with the audio and stuff? Can you also hear Ichi? Ichi, can you say something?
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday, I guess. It's already Wednesday. What a month.
Yes.
January felt so fast.
Amazing. Yeah. Perfect. No, so we got 26 people so far in here. Let's just get started right away, I would say.
Yes, it's
And yeah, then at the end of the entire webinar, it won't go too long, I promise. We will have a 20-minute Q&A session, so you can just drop your your questions in here, and we will basically answer them. So you can ask everything from tracking to email, but yeah, I will just start right away with the presentation. Okay, perfect. So audio, video, and chat we actually checked. And yeah, let's go into the agenda. So we're actually going to talk about the goal for today, who we are, real quick in reintroduction, which flows you should focus on based on your business, secrets we use to 2x or 4x flows without giving discounts. That's actually something that always performed well on LinkedIn. So I think you will also benefit from that, and then grabbing low-hanging fruits and better tracking for flow triggers, which is something that Ichi will talk about. And then after that, we will have an open Q&A. So if you don't have any more questions and everything works well, then let's jump into it. So our goal for today is that we want to help you increase your revenue by 5 to 10% on autopilot through flows within the next 6 to 12 months, with no extra time needed, no team members needed or anything, because flows are my love in email marketing. And yeah, I just love them so much. And today I want to share everything with you that I know about flows. So real quick reintroduction. I'm David. I run an email marketing agency. We made your brand. I'm also the head of Amos Agents. I've been working with Amos and Ichi for a little over a year now. I've completed more than 500 projects so far since 2019 and have helped generate 100 million and more, must be 150 or something by now. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. Then, Ichi, do you want to say two sentences about yourself as well?
Yeah, people who know me knows obviously I'm founder of Amers. I am also engineer, so I used to work at Facebook for a long time. I built a lot of big data products internally. I live in New York City, and if anyone's like in town in New York, feel free to hit me up. We have a lot of events happening here.
Yes. So these are actually all of the events where Ichi's talking. I'm only doing all of the online stuff, so webinar and stuff. But yeah, you can also check out all of our events if you are in New York. So yeah, that said, the industries we've seen pretty much everything, cosmetics, clothing, beverage, everything you can imagine, we've done it. And our results also speak for themselves. We have them online as well if you want to check them out and also understand them a little bit, how our products work. So yeah, but now before we jump into the presentation, I want to show you something that looks a little bit devastating. So, does any of your accounts look like this? If yes, I can say that you're not alone. There are a lot of I'm already seeing, yeah. You're not alone. There are a lot of businesses looking like this, but this brand that looks chaotic makes 150 million a year and had a Super Bowl ad last year. So if this is you, don't worry. We cleaned it up. It was one of our biggest setups so far. They had more than 150 flows in their entire account. It was completely insane. And today I actually want to walk you through what we did there in the end. And at the end, we were also able to almost double the flow revenue within a year, which was 4.4 million before, and afterwards 7.8 million. So yeah, this is rather a big case study, but one of the ones where I'm most proud of actually. And yeah, that's what I want to say. And now back to you. So, which flows should you actually be focusing on? And these are basics. And after that, I will go into more of the expert stuff. First of all, you need to check which business type you are. Are you a business that sells recurring stuff, health, wellness, food and beverage, fashion, or one-time stuff, rather like vehicles, wallets, special equipment, stuff like that? Once you know that, you can actually decide which flows to actually focus on. I will also give you the PDF afterwards so that you can also check this out. But if you sell recurring stuff, you obviously want to focus on retention, win back flow, post-purchase back in stock, all of that stuff, and integrations, as you can see here as well. They are under our best performing ones. And then if you sell stuff one time, you actually want to be a little bit more focused on acquisition, as you can see here, for example, also with the Amos flows in here. We actually try to only focus on the first sell there, and maybe cross-sell something on the first sell. But for example, if you sell like an art piece, it's really, really tough to actually sell another art piece within like a couple of months. So yeah, that's where that comes from. Now you can have the right flows or the perfect flows, but if they are in the wrong business, yeah, it oftentimes sucks. So always make sure that you know which business you are working in first before putting in the work, because that's what we do a lot of times. Clients ask us, hey, can you please set up like a win-back flow for us, or a post-purchase flow or whatever, but then in their account it doesn't work and they think it's on us. But yeah, it's actually not. And if you're an email marketer or business owner, it's also not on you. It's probably your business model, your product. So yeah, that's that. So the true leverage actually lies in industry fit, which we just discussed, starting churn prevention, resolving tracking issues, which Yiqi will talk a little bit more about, global frequency management, omnichannel optimization, and lifecycle monitoring. And I will go into every one of these just real quick, real briefly. So these are our secrets, if you will. So global frequency management is actually something that is really, really important, especially when you are a bigger brand, because we want to see how many metrics are there actually in your account, how many flows are connected to each of the metrics, and can we merge something there. So for example, in this business, we had 3 different welcome series for SMS, or 2 for SMS actually, 1 for email. And there were different messages with different messaging going out, different discount codes and stuff like that. So what we did to reduce complexity, not only for support, but also for the email marketer and the business overall, is that we merged them. And we also made sure that, that we make A/B testing easier. And that actually only happens because we can, if we merge flows. So for example, let's say I have 3 different flows and each of them gets 5,000 cents a month. If I merge them into one flow, I have 15,000 cents in one flow, and I can A/B test messaging way better with like 3 times the volume, right? So that's basically what we're trying to achieve here. And also, for example, here, what you can see here is that whenever I go into an account, I can check which flows actually get which trigger. And for example, if I say, hey, this business model actually also needs like a flow connected to canceled order, and I see, oh, there's nothing set up in that way, that gives me a lot of clarity of being like, hey, okay, this is a metric that's currently not being utilized, and we need to set up a flow for that. So I just want you guys to be inspired by this and actually set something up for this on your end as well, to kind of like see if this could also work for you and remove some of the complexity in your accounts. Then, by the way, you can also, this is obviously not directly about flows, but you can also uncover other inconsistencies. So for example, we have 2 SMS signups here, and one says 20%, the other one says 30%. They both went into the same list, and customers got confused, and especially if you send to a few 100,000 people a year, this can mess up things very quickly and unsatisfy people. So yeah, please be very clean with your setup and try to optimize everything. Then omnichannel optimization. So what we also did is we cleaned up the flows in a way where we checked if all of the SMS and emails are working together pretty well. And what we found out is that they only send emails in the welcome email flow. So if you sign up for emails, you only receive emails, and if you sign up for SMS, you only receive SMS. But vice versa, it also works, especially if you have a lot of people in your account. There's a high likelihood of people signing up for a second channel and you actually sending messages twice or even 3 times. And that's what happened here. So we had a lot of overlapping. We had unnecessary costs, especially with thousands of cents. SMS get really, really expensive, especially outside the US. Inside the US, it's very easy and very cheap to send SMS, but outside the US, not so much. So we wanted to become more cost efficient by sending emails first where we could, and then following up with an SMS. And on the SMS flows, if we couldn't convert them through SMS and we still had their email, we also tried sending out a plain text email, for example. to make sure that we're really getting multiple touch points. So omnichannel, if you will. I don't like the word so much, but yeah, omnichannel marketing in that sense. And we just have more control over the messaging and timing there as well. So as I said, like there were 1,000 different discounts thrown around here and there, all leading to a lot of confusion on the support side, but also on the customer side. So that's something you can definitely avoid by just cleaning everything up properly. Then churn prevention is also something that's huge for us and gets us a lot of extra revenue each year. So, for example, here during very sales-heavy seasons, for example, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we actually invent a few different preference options. So, for example, you can say, hey, you only want to get emails for sales, or you want emails every 2 weeks, once a month, or you want all emails. This actually helps us decrease the unsubscribe rate by roughly 20-30% each year across all of our brands. So that's definitely valuable as well, because you just don't get rid of your best customers in the sales season only because you are annoying in that sense. So that really helps. And on flows with high unsubscribe rates, this is something that Klaviyo doesn't really like to see, but I will just tell you anyways. You can actually hide the unsubscribe button by just typing in this here, so unsubscribe and then dot. And what this will do is essentially it will make this dot an unsubscribe button, and you can then still highlight or link the rest of the text. So, for example, this domain here is thenahala.com. And the only thing that is linked to the unsubscribe is actually the dot, and the rest of it is connected to the real domain. So that's actually something that has helped us decrease the unsubscribe rate as well. And this is again like really good for example, the welcome series that has a high unsubscribe rate, so you can give away a code without them unsubscribing. And also good for abandonment automations, because sometimes people just unsubscribe because they think it's not personal. But as long as you make it as personal as possible, for example, with support ticket, your order, and the current date, which is also easy to do, you can actually decrease that by quite a lot. Then, Yiqi, are we good on time? I have two like bonus things.
We're good on time.
Okay.
Take your time. I think you are going
Okay.
through a lot of content
Yes.
very fast.
Yeah, I'm trying to put as much as possible in here for you guys. So yeah, I basically also created two things here that as a bonus. So lifecycle monitoring is actually something that we mostly do in campaigns. So we basically send out emails to give us all you have. We have time. Okay, perfect. Thank you. No, so we actually have bundle purchasers in here, for example, high intent, never purchased, predictive LTV over $200, top customers. So we basically want to put all the different segments in there. And then this is obviously also a more advanced tip. If you use more than 2 segments or lists in a campaign send, you will also unlock the audience breakdown. So that's what we do every single campaign send. And there, for example, we can see that our top customers that purchased more than 2 times and spent more than $100 are the ones that are spending $1,173 for example in here. But our high intent never purchased, they actually didn't buy. So what we do usually is, and this is like a rather advanced hack, I would say as well, is check which segment never buys or buys rarely or buys very little. For example, predictive LTV over $200. It's very low here. Then you basically connect this segment to a flow. And then in the flow, you can later test which messaging or offers actually work. So for example, if you send campaigns with like a 10% discount code or 20% discount code or free shipping or whatever, then you will actually attract a certain number of people or a certain group of people. As you can see here, for example, 90 days engaged, they actually buy from this. But when you see predictive LTV over $200 doesn't buy from these offers that you had in the campaigns, you can actually try out mentioning different USPs, different offers, and all of that in the flow, and actually have that run over a longer period of time to actually see who will from what they would buy. And you can then also use this in order to send this offer in the next campaigns in the future as well. So yeah, I hope that makes sense for you. But yeah, it's just a really big test that we usually run. So for example, with this flow, we actually have 4 different branches. In 2, we are actually talking about 2 different kinds of messaging. One is actually towards mothers because they buy for their children, and in the other one, we're actually talking to children directly, and it's a sports brand actually. And then in the other one, we run 2 different offers. One is actually a discount, and the other one, like one is a percentage discount, and the other one is a direct discount. So these 4 angles is what we're testing there at the moment. So yeah, this is about lifecycle management. Then A/B testing, something that I've also posted on LinkedIn that got a good amount of feedback that I also wanted to mention, is that we in abandonment flows, we also always reduce the delay time. So for example, if the default, as you know probably as well, is 4 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours or whatever, then we try to reduce it to, for example, an hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. That always works. Like I can 100% guarantee you that always works. And we also, that's a newer strategy that we have, mention the site-wide offer in the first email as well. So as you can see here, for example, I hope you can see that, we started with a placed order rate of 4.8%. Then we jumped to 8.1% just by lowering the delay from 4 hours to 30 minutes. It's crazy. We just doubled the place order rate. And then what we saw is that the AOV, this is actually from the Amos app. Yiqi will show you in a minute as well. But we saw that the AOV is around $41. So we went ahead and created a site-wide offer for $39. Like every order over $39 would then get free shipping essentially. And when we reminded people in an email, so in this email, we're not talking about the free shipping above $39. And in this one we do because people are over $39, for example, and we just by us saying, hey, you are now eligible for free shipping, we got double the amount of people to actually buy from this at 16%. So we basically doubled the revenue twice from 4 to 8 and then from 8 to 16. Yeah, I hope this is understandable. If not, just write your questions into the chat. But this was definitely a breakthrough for us, and we are doing this ever since in pretty much every account. So yeah, this is actually the last one from me. After that, Ichi will take over. Huge issue is tracking, obviously. If you don't have your UTM tracking set up properly, GA4, Triple Whale, CLA, and other tracking tools can't work properly. And yeah, it's just a huge thing that a lot of brands miss, and they mistake email to be a really slow moving channel. But what I see all the time is basically they don't have the UTM, they just can't really tell if it's really working or not. So yeah, what they're getting is bad data inside Triple Whale, GA4 and CLA. And yeah, at the end of the day, if you don't have the right data, you can't make right decisions. But yeah, that's definitely what Ichi is more more profound in talking about. So yeah, Ichi, if you want to take over with grabbing low-hanging fruits and better tracking for flow triggers, you can obviously go ahead now.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, you covered a lot of things in the last, 20 minutes? It's a lot. So folks, if you guys have any thing that you didn't catch or anything you have questions on, take a moment to write them down. We can obviously come back, David can come back and then revisit some of the things. It's a lot of things being covered in 20 minutes. I don't think we can fully capture and digest that, but we will have more time afterwards to do Q&A, okay? I'm gonna talk a little bit more about low-hanging fruits. So a lot of things David talks about is the high-level strategy, like about your branding, about your product, about your business, about flow strategy. But there are a lot of things that you can fix right now within your accounts. When I talk about low-hanging fruits, they're really low-hanging fruits. Like the technical issues that you didn't know that you have. All right, so let's go over that real quick. I'm gonna share my screen. I have consent from Rahul, who's also here. This is his account, so I'm gonna use his account to go over some of the audit on flows. So a few things. For me, I do audit for like over like hundreds, close to 1,000 accounts now. I do technical issue audits, and I have a flow of how I do things. And the more I do it, I was like, okay, I've been doing this over and over again for like hundreds of times. I know exactly what to do. I think if I know how to do it, a technical thing like an AI can probably do the same thing like I do, but better. So I built this Chrome extension. Like a side story, why do we build a Chrome extension? This Klaviyo doesn't have a lot of APIs, unfortunately. So there's no way for us to build an app based on Klaviyo APIs. We'll be like, fuck it, we're just gonna build Chrome because now you can get access to the entire Klaviyo without going through the backend API. All right, so that's why it's a Chrome extension. First thing, when I do audit, I go over all the flow profiles audits. So when I say profile filter, I meant if you think about it, if you do like abandoned checkout, should be filtering out any profiles or triggers that on the upper funnel, right? If they ever view a product or add it to cart, I don't think they should be triggering a abandoned checkout. So any lower funnel, actually, wait, I was wrong. Any top of funnel should be filtering out lower funnel events. So basically this extension that checks all the flow profile filters and see if there are any profile filters you are missing. And obviously you can click into it to see like, oh, is this profile filter actually missing? And like, if there's something wrong, you can like click on this and fix. If there's something wrong, you can revert it too. There's a way to roll back. So it's a very safe action you can do. And then you can manually check if the AI is doing the right things. Sometimes it makes mistakes. Obviously, it's not fully there yet, but it covers about 80% of the cases. All right, that's for profile filters. The next thing I do is I spent majority of my time on, which is the email config. When I say email config, a lot of people probably know it's this part, right? It's the dynamic configuration part. What I do is I would preview and test and make sure that a few things is working. The image is showing up, the name of the product showing up. Ideally, you should have pricing showing up. You should have, if you click on this image or click on this name, it should be linked to the right product, the right PDP. It's so easy to make mistakes, and also the CTA. So you can go over this real quick, be like, oh, hey, like this one doesn't have product name or pricing, or the CTA button is wrong. Why? And then you can go click into the email and take a look at that. Now that you know, okay, is this name showing up? Well, this name is not showing up. Okay. Oh, Rahul is here. You should probably take a look at this. And, now that you know this, it's so easy for you to like audit to know if your email that's sending out to your customers is correct. People are looking at the right email, right name, right CTA, and the link is correct. So you don't miss any revenues. All right. So that's for email config. The next thing is about flow trigger. As you know, most of the data comes from the trigger. So if the trigger is not working, then there's no data gonna be sent. So this tool just goes through each of the flow and check if the flow trigger is active. Right? This one is probably not active. The form is probably not working anymore. So you want to fix that or remove the flow because it's not working. There's no data coming in. All right, that's for the trigger. UTM, David just covered a little bit about UTM. The UTM is used by third-party analytics tools like GA4, like Triple Whale, if you use Triple Whale, Northbeam, to understand like how your purchases, your conversions are being attributed to each of the channels, right? So without UTM, those tools cannot calculate attributions. You want to make sure that your UTM is set correctly in each of the emails. Klaviyo has this annoying thing that UTM has to be configured at email level. So a lot of people may not know this. If you like, Rahul has everything correct, right? Like in each of the emails, you can click on this and come back to the configuration settings and see there's a setting called enable UTM tracking. You want to make sure that this is toggled on. Another setting is in the account UTM settings, and you want to go there and make sure the account level UTM is toggled on. Okay, and this tool basically just do a very quick like audit on each of the emails to see if the UTM is set up correctly. The last thing, second to the last thing is smart sending. We recommend turning off smart sending in flows so that if they receive a campaign email, they should also receive a card abandonment email. And for smart sending, it's also unfortunately at the email level. So you have to go configure that in each of the email, not at a flow. So like, let's say this one is not configured, we can go take a look. And well, like it's checked on, it's on. So you should probably uncheck this. And the rest of the flows are all correct. Yeah. The last thing about email image audit. If you think about the email you sent out, there are a lot of images linked. There could be your logo, the product image, and the footer. You want to make sure that every single image in your email is clickable, so they navigate to your website, and people will like be able to go to your website from the email. So this basically checks each of the email and make sure it detects all the images, and images have a link to it. Okay, sometimes you have a footer, sometimes you have like, this is I think it's a head of the email. And you want to make sure everything's linked correctly. And alt text, this is not a requirement, but if you want to be compliant, you want to set up alt text as well. So it can be SEO'd, and also blind people can also read your email through the alt text. These are all quick low-hanging fruit grabs on audit. All right, I can take questions afterwards, but hopefully this is helpful to you guys. And in terms of like tracking, there's a lot of low-hanging fruits you can grab on tracking. For aimers, what we do is we can send you a little bit more trigger events than what native Shopify can. This one, let's grab like the last 30 days. The aimers one will send you additional event revenue on top of your existing ones. Roughly will be like 20 to 30% more than what you originally have. So you already have abandoned cart email, and aimers can give you about 20% more on top of that. So you can do your math, right? If you are making like say $500,000 on flows, then we can add you a lot more revenue, like 20% of that. All right. Cool. That's all I want to cover. And I'm very much on time. We have 10, 20 minutes left for Q&A.
Amazing. How do agencies use AIM without over relying on it or making audits feel generic? Yiqi, I think I should just talk about this, right? So, over relying on it. I mean, at the end of the day, you are just a lot faster. I would say it's not taking away the job that you have. You still have to do some decision making yourself. So, for example, as Yiqi just showed, like there's this product name that actually says that it's showing up, but it's not showing up. That's at least what the extension sees. So there, for example, you can just go ahead and be like, hey, why is this not showing up? And you still have to do your own thinking. So in that sense, you're not really over relying. I mean, also at the end of the day, we haven't built anything just yet. We're going to, but even with campaign auditing, we're doing that right now. It's still something that you need to do manually, but yeah, at the end of the day, there's always going to be some own judgment needed. We can just make things easier for you. Also with the smart sending, for example, like it's something I get what you mean with generic. For example, that we say, hey, this needs to be turned off. And you can also say, hey, this needs to be turned on for whatever reason. But we're actually also working on something where you can also customize your own audit so that it actually feels a little bit more custom. And the thing is also, AIM doesn't only audit. It also helps you with setting up segments, for example, in bulk and also flows in bulk. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, that's how I would answer this. So yeah, answer live. I think that's all fine. I will just go to the next one. What's the main benefit USP of Amos SST compared to Elevar, for example? Ichi, that's one for you.
Yeah, so I have very strong opinions on that. So, first of all, I'm really not a fan of GTM, and I know this is gonna offend a lot of people, but you don't need to have Google Tag Manager if you are on Shopify. It makes things a lot faster. Your site will load a lot faster. Your tech stack will be a lot easier. But basically, foundationally, we solve a similar problem. You can track the visitor for longer, and the longer you track, the better you can know. You can stitch the sessions. And if they have given you email at any point of the journey, you can continuously track their activities afterwards. So you can send them more abandonment emails. Or you can also send those events to Facebook for retargeting purposes. So email is so important, not just for emails, but also for Facebook and Google ads, because Facebook and Google ads also use email information to match to a Facebook or Google user. That's how they do retargeting or prospecting.
Okay, cool. I hope that answers the question, Simon. Let us know if not. Then we can obviously answer more. So Jim asked, did you say that after an email campaign goes out, you should have another email campaign go out for abandoned cart? No. So actually, what Ichi meant is with smart sending. So for example, let's say you have an email campaign, you're sending it to me right now. I'm in Germany, it's 7 p.m. And I don't know, I want to go to the gym. I opened the campaign, but I'm going to the gym and 20, I just read the email, I got distracted. 3 hours later, I come back and I want to watch TV. That's exactly when you kind of like want to step in with the abandoned cart email. And if you have smart sending on, you can't send another email within the time window. Say, I think the default is 16 hours. We usually don't use smart sending at all. But if there is an abandonment automation that is meant to remind somebody, then smart sending is completely in the false spot there because you just send an email campaign and you set up an automation to reach out after like 20 minutes 3 hours, 8 hours, or whatever. And smart sending is automatically blocking that. So that's exactly what Ichi just showed in that account. You're basically blocking yourself away inside Klaviyo, and you're basically cannibalizing yourself there if you have smart sending on. So that's kind of like how that works. I hope that explained that well. If you have any questions, obviously, yeah.
I think Jim is asking about the segments of the campaigns that you are showing. I don't think a lot of people know that feature. That's what you are.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Jim,
remember
did,
we
did
were
you?
talking about the campaigns, and there's a lot of segments there.
Hmm.
And you know there's one segment that has no one has converted. And
Hmm.
I'm guessing he's asking about how do you want to follow up with this segment?
Yeah. Jim, is that right? Or should we?
That's my guess. All right.
Okay. No, so okay, if you were asking that regarding the flow that we're setting up, so we basically have a segment, for example, the bundle purchaser segment. Let's just take that as an example. And we send campaigns to that segment all the time when we see it in the audience breakdown. Then yeah, but what you said about smart is excellent. Okay, perfect. That's good. Then the question is answered. No, but so I basically always send the campaigns to these different segments. And the thing is, when I notice that a certain segment is not performing well in campaigns, I basically want to use the same segment, and whenever somebody joins the segment, I want to have them receive a flow. It doesn't have anything to do with for example, sending a campaign first and then a flow. It's rather like whenever somebody joins, they are being added to our email list essentially and to the flow. But the flow is being sent out automatically. So even if I don't send a campaign to that segment in like I don't know forever, then at least the flow is going out, and we are able to test a few different offers and see how we can convert them. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. But if you want, I can also create a video about that in the future, and then yeah, go a little bit deeper into that. So I will just have this answered. Okay, Ichi, for you, does not integrate with WooCommerce.
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately not. I mean, the agent somehow works. I mean, in some accounts it actually does work. Sometimes it doesn't, or most times it actually doesn't. But yeah, Shopify plus Klaviyo is what works best for us. However, in sometimes it also works with Klaviyo plus WooCommerce. So that's what I can say. Okay, that's all good. So, what are your expectations for email marketing in 2026? Ichi, do you want to say something about that first? How do you see the channel evolving?
I'm so excited for what's gonna come in the next a year or two. I'm a huge AI fan. I think the people who know me knows that. I'm so excited for um, a for AI to like make decisions on when to send an email to a person better and then fully automate that process instead of like delay 20 minutes, delay 30 minutes. And I think we can figure out the best timing way better. Second, like the content they want to see, like more personalized messages. And the final goal is for you to define a goal and for AI to have all the hands, all the tools to do the job on their own, right? That's the final goal. But I think the future is closer, faster to happen than you think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the thing is also that at the end of the day, I don't think email as a communication channel will ever disappear, to be honest. I think therefore, like too many people are using email and email is just too practical. So I don't think that email is going away. There will just be different kinds of email marketing or solutions for email marketing. And what we already thought about, and Ichi and I talked about this for a really long time already, is that we thought about like maybe at some point there will not even be like a medium like Klaviyo. There will just be the
Yeah.
business directly communicating. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot coming. Ichi is looking into all of the AI stuff every day. So yeah, we will keep you updated, guys. Okay, let's see. Oh, there are actually a lot of questions. Wow. Okay. Um, on that slide, how were you able to view the campaign metric broken down by different segments? Okay. So that was actually if you send out a campaign with more than two segments or lists, you can see what's called campaign audience breakdown. So go to any campaign that you have where you send more than two lists or segments, and you will be able to see that. You can't see it if you only send to one segment. So if you are one of these newsletter spammers and only sending to one list all the time, then you won't see it. But if you use multiple segments, then you will see it. Okay, let's see if we have another question for Ichi maybe. Ichi, what would you do if you had a client with a 10,000 people list, 45% open rate, but only 0.2% click-through rate, 20 people, almost no purchases?
Oh, we have seen those accounts. First of all, the volume, 10,000 profiles is not that many. All right. I will be honest with you, it's not. So like with a small volume, you're gonna see the numbers being very dramatic, because that not that many people is gonna click on the emails. But the 0.2%, I can tell you, this is way below industry standards. Um, I've seen across accounts like so many accounts numbers. Um, I would say like 3%, 2-3% will be like average, normal. 0.2%, something's wrong.
Yeah.
So I would definitely look into your emails. A, is the design okay?
Mm.
B, check everything I just mentioned. Is everything clickable? Like the head, the image, everything, the CTA, is everything clickable? Is there any technical issues, right?
And yeah, I would also add that you should probably I obviously don't know what your emails look like, but make sure that you only focus on one thing. Like if you have 10 different CTAs in there, you talk about like 20 different products, that's also going to confuse a lot of people. So what I usually like to do is go very minimal. Like if you have these click-through rate problems, go very minimal with your emails, even if it's a little bit off-brand. Do that, but also increase your list size. Like 10,000 people is not enough. So yeah, with 20 people, like you don't have enough volume yet. So I would definitely yeah, try to grow your list first before you do anything else. Okay, there is holy shit, there are a lot of questions here. Okay, what type of unique flows should we use for subscription brands as a supplement brand? What type of unique flows? Let me quickly go through my. Ichi, what would you say? I will find out if you here on my end.
I think subscription is very interesting because there are a few triggers from subscription apps that you should leverage. I would say that a lot of people don't look into the metric, the trigger events. Uh, I think subscription brands has subscribe, unsubscribe, and there's a few more.
Mhm.
Um, then you should leverage those, like send out flows based on those trigger events.
Yeah. Yeah. And also one that I always like to use is actually a 30-day activation flow. So a lot of email marketers actually don't talk about this and also don't know this. But we've been using this for, I don't know, a few years now, and it's a game changer. It's actually something that's kind of like standing in between welcome and win back. So 30-day activation for us means that somebody has, for example, shown interest in something and hasn't bought within the first 30 days. That actually came from us seeing that, for example, people that don't convert in the welcome series, that those people actually need a different offer sometimes, because a lot of brands actually just do, hey, 10% off, and that's our welcome offer, and then that's basically it. But what we like to do is after 30 days or whatever the dying time usually is for of your profiles before you actually suppress them again, is that you can then basically go in there after 30 days, say, hey, it seems like you haven't subscribed just yet. Here are a few USPs, and then you can also split test, as I said, like you can use different USPs, you can use different offers and stuff like that, see how you can actually convert them. And once you've seen that in the 30-day activation, you can also test that in the welcome series. That's what I would do anyways, but that's kind of like a unique flow, I would say. And then obviously also look at integrations like loyalty program, referrals, reviews, and stuff like that. That's also a huge driver for supplement brands. As I showed you previously, I mean, I can just show you like points earned is actually one of the best flows for us, and we have a supplement brand. It's collagen. So yeah, points earned. If you can somehow see the points that somebody has earned over time with the subscription, like that's going to be a game changer for sure. So yeah, fancy is not always the best. The basics, if you have them right, that's 100% good. So let's see. You showed the campaign breakdown by audience. Don't the segments overlap? Is a person being in two segments? Yes, and that's why you actually have to make your own judgment, basically from those. But it doesn't interfere with the audience breakdown. So you can basically have like 30 days, 30, 60, 90 days engaged. And obviously 30 days will be in 90 days if you define it similar. But you can then see, for example, 2,000 people are in 30, 4,000 are in 90. Then you can see, okay, like there are 20,000 more people in the other segment, and that's basically how you can then evaluate. So yeah, it's not overlapping in that sense, just in that sense that it's obviously all segments in there. Yeah, but the metrics are not hurting. Why I insist my head of marketing to start Amos with our brand, asking for pros and cons. Oh, wait, okay. I insist. Wait.
So I'll take this
Um,
question.
yeah.
I obviously I love to sell Amos. This is my baby. But I would like to save the time to talk about flows and Klaviyo because this is what we are here for. But I love to talk about Amos, like obviously. Um, if you want to know more about Amos pros and cons, I'd rather like schedule one-on-one time to talk about it. Let's go back to Klaviyo flows. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to maybe drop your meeting link? Then we can make sure
Yeah.
that you can talk to the person about pros and cons. Okay, let me quickly take another question here from Tina, so that we're actually like getting over this through. And one more question: is the back end that Shopify sends to Klaviyo for abandonment flows fixed? I've noticed that when using Amos triggers, some of the data differs from the standard abandonment flows. For example, the dollar value isn't always pulling through the Amos card abandonment trigger. I'm happy to put this together in an email for each if that's helpful.
Yeah, definitely write me an email.
Better in an email. Okay. Yeah, that's better in an email. For someone early in their email career, what skills matter most along tools like Amos or AIM? Um, mm, Earlier in the email career, I mean, Mm, this is really tough to answer, to be honest, because the thing is, I would just practice a lot. I started on Fiverr, then I got hired by Germany's biggest email marketing agency because they like my work. Then I got hired by one of the biggest email marketing agencies in America. Then I started my own agency, and it's kind of like been a wild ride since then. So I can just say, depending on where you are, I would just try to learn as much as possible. Obviously, if you're an email marketer in general or trying to run an agency later or something, there's so much that you need to learn, client communication, and all of the other stuff. But regarding flows, there's not so much. So if you want, you can text me one on one. I will answer this question. But yeah, let's stick to flows here a little bit for now. Because I think Ichi is also close on time. I'm not so much, but Ichi is, I think. Best integration to Klaviyo for design, personalized design AI. I would say, I mean, we do everything in Figma and then slice it, use Grotto to move it over. But yeah, I mean, we've also tested email design with the AI agent. It's tough. You can test it.
Not there
It's
yet.
no, AI is not there yet. It's not even, yeah, it's not there yet. You can ask Ichi for her opinion on that.
I mean, like I would do idea generation with AI for now, but I wouldn't leave AI to do your email design. It's not there yet. It's
Yeah.
on brand.
Yeah, 100% agreed. I've seen so many tools. I've also pretty much tested. I think I tested 7 or 8 tools last year. It didn't work. So yeah, I wouldn't do it just now. So yeah, which segment should all e-commerce stores use and test daily apart from Engaged 60, 90, 120? So Engaged is a really good beginning, and I mean it's very hard to say obviously which segments to be used, but I always couple it with placed order events, for example, if I don't know what I'm doing yet in the account, similar to probably what you're doing right now. So I would do 30, 60, 90, 120 days, and then 0, 1, and 2 plus placed orders so that you can actually see, okay, 90 days engaged with 1 plus order has this likelihood of buying, and then 120 days with 0 orders has this likelihood of buying, and then yeah, you can basically work with that. So 60, 90, 120 days with 0, 1, and 2 plus orders. Okay, did you try the WhatsApp Klaviyo flows? Yes, we tried WhatsApp in Germany. It's pretty expensive. Not that much better than SMS just yet, I think. At least not in Europe. America is like Ichi has been online on WhatsApp, I think 2 months ago or something. So it hasn't arrived just yet in America. So yeah, Klaviyo hasn't the Klaviyo WhatsApp hasn't worked too well just for us. We have a bunch of German brands where we use another tool called ChatAmin, but yeah, I have yet to see someone who actually outperforms SMS and email by a lot. So Marcus answered. Let me check if there's. Yiqi, can you also see the questions
Yeah.
on your end? Can you see if there's anything for you?
There's one
Um,
last one. Which type of categories are very good at email?
okay.
That's like, that's,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
a question.
Yeah,
Um,
that's yeah, or everything that's recurring. Like wait, I just wrote this down. So health and wellness, food and beverage, fashion, accessories, everything that you can buy multiple times. So the type business type A that I talked
makes
about
sense.
earlier. And yeah, everything else like wallets, if you want to sell wallets with email, sucks, believe me. So don't do that. Yeah, what was the process from Figma to Klaviyo? What tool are you using? Didn't get it. Yeah, I will type that answer. Ichi, can you look for another question in the meantime? Go to bam. Okay, answered. We
Okay,
already
now
answered 20 questions.
about pop-up. So if you have a spend X get Y offer on the website, which is a pop-up, but also a pop-up sign-up form, which one would you make pop-up first? I guess you can talk about pop-up in general. Like, I
Hmm.
actually, this question is a little bit confusing.
Wait. Um,
Oh, how long would you make the pop-up show up? Like, what's the delay time?
oh, exit intent. Always exit intent. Is that the question? Don't, how long would you make the pop-up show? How long? I mean, the thing is the I think you're not saying how long the pop-up shows because as long as you don't click it away, it shows up anyway. But always use exit intent, please. Like there's no benefit in showing it up after like 5 seconds or after somebody has scrolled 50% of the page or something. We've seen a lot of brands and it hurts the website's conversion rate actually. So that's something we don't recommend at all. Use an exit intent, and that's what you should do. Um, please. So, okay. Um, how deep is your integration with KDP, Ichi?
The Klaviyo CDP?
I think with KDP, can Amos interact with RFM KAI analytics
I guess
manager?
The Klaviyo feature, I guess. That's my guess.
Mm,
Not much. I don't know if anyone's using Klaviyo CDP.
mm,
I have so many accounts. I don't think anyone has bought that. It's like additional $600 or something like that.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it's completely stupid. Like the thing is, I've heard so many bad stories about KBCDP as well, KDP as well, and yeah, I mean we're a platinum partner, so they went up to us and were like, hey guys, you definitely need to pitch this to some of your clients, and I was like, no, and yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it to be honest. And what we're trying to do with the Amos app is essentially doing our own analytics and marketing because like I noticed that my account managers don't really work a lot with the Klaviyo built-in features. That's why or why Ichi and I built this tool essentially because like UTM tracking. Why does Klaviyo not have a tool like that? Or also with the image audit and stuff like that. Why does Klaviyo not have a tool like that? That was essentially our thought behind this. So yeah, not a huge fan
we
of.
haven't used the Klaviyo stuff yet. I find that
But
useful.
nobody
Yeah.
does. Like I don't see anyone talking about that. So exit intent for both desktop and mobile or only desktop because I don't work. It doesn't work efficiently with mobile. So I actually had a post on that a little bit earlier this last year. Where I also talked about our pop-up that got 70%, 17% submit rate or 18% consistently. And there we had the pop-up running for both. Because the thing is actually that when you scroll up fast enough on your mobile phone, it will also pop up. Or if you try to change the website, so it actually does work. I mean, you can obviously also go with different settings there regarding the desktop, the mobile version, for example, like showing it after 10 seconds or whatever. But just from what I've experienced, I wouldn't do it. Like we always run both. So yeah, but it's a way, not the way. So yeah, let me put this here. Exit intent, all good. How to adapt AI in email marketing? Oof, itchy.
I think that's such a broad question. That's such a broad question. I wouldn't start with very like autonomous stuff. That's my takeaway. Not yet. Like you cannot let AI do autonomous stuff. Like you have to be the one making decisions, looking over the accounts, and know if anything happens, you have a choice to roll back. So
Mm,
that's why the extension is built in a way that you have to approve any of the actions they're gonna take on the account um, before they make any changes.
yeah.
Um, it's so easy for them to make the mistakes, and for a business, we're businesses, right? We cannot afford making mistakes, like even like 1%. So I say like AI is only for strategizing, making recommendations, but in terms of doing actions, you have to be in the loop. Human has to be in the loop for now. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I would totally agree. I mean, the thing is, we do have the AI chat agent essentially, or inside the agent, so it can actually pull your data and be like, "Hey, I recommend this, 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 and this." But at the end of the day, as Ichi says, you still have to use your own thoughts and actually use your own, yeah, how should I say it? You have to justify yourself what is right or not. So yeah, until AI is at a point where it can actually make these decisions, and I'm not talking about like an account that makes like 10 grand a month, but rather like 2 million a month. Like if you make mistakes there with an autonomous AI, like you're you're messing up, you messed up. So yeah, I wouldn't do that just yet. So let me quickly go through some of the questions here. Okay, there's actually not that many anymore. So Ichi, do you have to go soon or is
We
everything
probably
fine?
have to like end this call, but
Okay.
we answered most of the questions.
Okay. If I presented an audit to you, how would you evaluate whether someone understands lifecycle logic versus just knowing Klaviyo features? Um, I mean, at the end of the day, mm, in the audit, it should talk a little bit. They should talk a little bit deeper about how things actually work together, and not just be like, "Hey." A total red flag is when an agency or email marketer or whatever only sends to newsletter, to the newsletter list or to any list because lists are static and segments are dynamic. So if somebody says send to this list and only this list all the time, we can send like 8 emails a week. Don't listen to them, please, because that's for sure the wrong way. And yeah, life cycle. As soon as you see that somebody actually cares about segmentation and understanding who actually buys and why they buy and different offer strategies and stuff like that, that's when you can, yeah, very reliably tell that somebody has a clue about lifecycle logic. So yeah. How can we grow the CTR? Design a strong, copy strong, already used AMOS. Okay. Yeah, I think that that was actually the thing as before. I would grow your list first and then see if the low click-through rate actually persists. Click-through rate is always low except with certain segments. Then only send to the other segments if that's better. Um, okay, Jim, let's actually talk about the click-through rate one-on-one, I would say. Just text me on LinkedIn and then we can discuss all of that. Please add more lead generation strategies. I can't do that right now. But you can text me on LinkedIn as well because that's about agency stuff. Klaviyo reviews are good. Try them. Yes, we did try Klaviyo reviews, but we stuck with something else. Um, Key integration to Klaviyo. What do you recommend to test? What is the roadmap of new email marketer who wants to build his own agency in the future? Okay, that's also for another day. I'm sorry. Can we export an audit? Oh, Ichi, can we export an audit from Amos and send it to a potential client? Oh
Oh,
God.
we're thinking about this future.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yes, we've we've actually been thinking about this for a really long time. But to be honest with you guys, I actually forgot about this a little bit. A lot of people have actually requested this, so we will build it. I can say we can build it. We will build it. I will convince Ichi after this. We will get this. Will we get this webinar recorded email to us? Yes, you will. You will get an email tomorrow. So that's all good. What are your thoughts on decreasing the spam rate, unsubscribe rate for a brand specifically from flows if they are already sending to engaged list? Um, oh, that's a really tough thing to answer.
Help.
Okay.
We have to at the time. I have to help. All right.
Mhm.
Everybody who's listening, feel free to email me or David. We're very responsive over emails, and
Mhm.
I hope this is useful content for you guys. We try not to be salesy. We try to really give back what we have learned along the way to everybody who's been following us, um, and anyways, like shoot a question, and then we'll make sure that we wanna give value to everybody. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
have
will keep answering questions. I will keep answering questions and Ichi,
you
see you
got
later.
it.
Okay, guys. So, yeah, I will just yeah, answer the questions because I still have time anyways. So, yeah, shoot whatever you have. I will just answer everything here now. Thanks for the quick questions. Hope to get answers on LinkedIn. Yes, Ichi will definitely answer. What are your thoughts on decreasing spam rate? Okay, let's go about that a little bit more. And unsubscribe rate for brands, specifically from flows, if they already sent to unengaged list. As you saw in the presentation that I had, I would send out emails disguised as like automated emails disguised as manual emails. So, for example, using the trick where you use the unsubscribe button as a dot only, and also trying to be very personal with it. So, for example, using an order number that doesn't exist and saying your order XYZ whatever, or your support ticket or stuff like that. So that can actually help. And then spam rate. I mean, spam rate at the end of the day is really tough to get out of that. I would have to see the account itself and evaluate from there because spam rate is always really tricky. But yeah, that's at least what I would say for now. There's so many ways to actually improve the spam rate and unsubscribe rate. From flows is obviously a little bit tougher. I mean, just so you guys know as well, the welcome series, for example, if that has a high unsubscribe rate, you are actually not in a bad position because it naturally has a very high unsubscribe rate. So yeah, that's something that I would definitely yeah, where you don't have to be too hard on yourself because yeah, with the welcome series, somebody just signs up for a discount and then they basically yeah, unsubscribe. So yeah, that's that. And with spam rate also, like if you send an abandoned checkout, for example, like 5 minutes after somebody purchased, and the next email comes after like 3 hours or something, I would also decrease the amount of sends. So if you are obviously spamming them all the time, like decrease the frequency, I would just say, and then yeah, try to reach out to the right people at the right time. Okay, webinar will be recorded. Yes. Lynn, when you audit an account, how do you decide which AIM flags to ignore versus act on first? I would say that's actually experience most of the times. So, for example, if I see a trigger is not working properly and I go into the trigger and I see that there's a trigger event like 30 days ago or something, I know that there's something wrong in there. I can pretty much for sure say that there's something wrong in there if Amos has it. And then I can still either act on it or not and be like, hey, is this really a problem? Is the back in stock, for example, we had a back in stock recently and we had like one event in 30 days. And I was like, okay, there must be something wrong there because there's only one event. And then I noticed that we don't use the back in stock button, for example, on the website. So that's actually something when you need to think like, hey, does this actually make sense? Does it need to be this way, or does it not need to be this way? So, for example, or another example would be if I check in a bid and checkout and I see that the price is not showing up, Amos is going to tell me, hey, the price is not showing up, the code is missing, you can insert the code now. But if my, for example, we also sell art for a customer, and one painting costs like 30 grand. And in that case, we want to show the product, like we want to show the product image, we want to send them back to the cart, but we don't even want to display the price. So in that case, it would be very specific, but I would say let's not display the price. Let's not say that that expensive. Let's just say the name, and if they like the picture and they buy it for the picture anyway, then obviously they don't need to know the price. So yeah, this is very specific. It's hard to tell, but we will also make Amos a little bit smarter over time. I know that Amos or in general AI is not 100% there yet. It can't take everything from you. But yeah, there's just a little bit of decision making you need to do on yourself or on your own. Then okay, let's see. Have you tested Black Crow and other super expensive apps? Black Crow, not. What is something else that's super expensive? Loyalty Line is very expensive, but definitely worth the money, I have to say. So yeah, it's a loyalty platform. You can also go with Smile.io, I think. Should also be it's very cheap actually and does the same thing at the end of the day. But yeah, I would say Loyalty Line is definitely expensive, and I've tried it in the past. And there are also a few other tools that are super expensive. I mean, Amos at the end of the day can also become very expensive, but yeah, we're always seeing a good return on invest. Let me actually think if there's another app. Triple Whale is also pretty expensive, I think. We use it a lot. And Hyros. Hyros is also pretty expensive, I would say, and we also use it a lot. So those are those. But Black Crow, I still need to check out. I sent you a connection request. Thank you. I will accept it. Do you recommend a flow for best performing campaigns? Wait, let me actually see if there's someone else who also had a question before I answer that one. Elise, what is the offer you give to your clients? Initial setup flows and the monthly management. Okay, should I just talk about the agency life or what? I can do that if you guys want to. Can you just quickly let me know, like if I should talk about agency stuff with like thumbs up or something? Because then I will go ahead and do so. But okay, yeah. Okay, so you guys are saying it's fine that I talk about some agency stuff? Yep. Okay, perfect. No, good. Then I will do that. So let's go back to the question. I would start with please add some lead generation strategies for getting leads. I'm assuming this is actually for agency owners. So what we do is cold email. We do cold email quite a lot. The thing is, since LinkedIn is going really well for us, we are not doing as much lead gen anymore. But basically, what we did in the past is, or we still have it set up, but it doesn't send that many emails, to be honest. You basically use Reply.io. Reply.io is really good because it separates. Don't use Instantly, by the way. If you use Instantly, don't use it. Reply.io basically separates the warming process from the emailing process, which is really good just from a technical standpoint. And then we basically send out an email with a Loom that one of my account managers had actually recorded manually. Back then, we used to record about 20 Loom videos a day, personalized ones. And then we basically sent those out through email first. And then on the like 10 minutes later, 5 or 10 minutes later, we actually send a connection request on LinkedIn. And 2 or 3 minutes later, we also like a post. And then once the person has actually taken on the connection request, we actually also send this same Loom that we have already recorded. And yeah, that's basically what we did, how we got a lot of clients on our end. And yeah, that's all I can say so far for lead generation. What else worked for us? We never ran any ads. LinkedIn has been really, really good for us. Yeah, we closed a lot of clients through LinkedIn actually, through expert content. So that's that. And yeah, building the agent, like the SaaS has obviously also been really, really good because we've been connected with a lot of businesses that are using it. So those are kind of like my lead generation strategies. And Fiverr, we are top rated on Fiverr as an agency, so that's also what we're using. Klaviyo reviews are good. Perfect. Yes. Key integration to Klaviyo. What do you recommend to test? Key integrations. I would definitely always use a review tool like Reviews.io. Reviews.io is usually really good. There are just so many. Let me actually pull up a Klaviyo account here real quick. And see which integrations they actually have. So Amos, Google Ads, Georgia's. So that's actually also really good for support and help desk. Loop returns also really, really good. Then Wishlist, SWYM, Wishlist Plus is something that we use a lot of the times as well. TikTok audiences is also really good. And yeah, there are a couple of other ones, but I would just recommend a couple of those. Let me actually see. There are a lot of questions. Joey, logging on. Any way to watch the first part? Joey, yes. There is a way to watch the first part. You will get the recording of the webinar tomorrow. So I will actually upload it to YouTube as well. We've already been talking for an hour. What do you think about Instagram for lead gen? Guys, I'm really sorry, but can I quickly go to the toilet for you so that I can answer all these questions, because there are like 20 questions, 20 or 30 questions here, and I would like to really go into each one of them. Obviously, this is more the agency part right now. I will show you exactly how we close clients. But you know what, guys? I will run for you guys. One second. Okay, let's get back to scaling agencies. Let's get back to scaling agencies. Okay. Okay. Yes, we want to learn from you. You are giving us years of experience. Yeah, thank you so much. So, I actually wanted to record a lot of YouTube videos actually on this. But basically what I want to teach others as well is, if you're just starting out as an email marketer, like just start with Fiverr or Upwork. Upwork I don't recommend so much because you actually have to spend a lot on ads and stuff. So I would definitely do that first. Work for one or two agencies first, because you can take like so much experience from them before actually running your own. Not only regarding email marketing, like you could be really good at email marketing. I was pretty good, I would say, at email marketing when I ran my own agency, or when I started my own agency, or when I was still a freelancer, but I couldn't really close deals. So yeah, definitely work for an agency before you try to go self-employed. That's what I would do. So how can we efficiently use AI to enhance our email marketing strategy? I think we already heard that from Yiqi earlier. I mean, with the AI agent, for example, you can also ask the AI chat. But other than that, I would just use the tool to actually audit your account and set up. So, for example, something that's really good with the agent is you can also bulk create and bulk save flows and segments. So you can basically use all of your different segments that you have and create, for example, 50 at a time or 20 at a time, and the same with flows. So that's basically how I use it. But even the auditing already like helps so much. So yeah, I hope that helps. So right now as an agency, we sell this initial setup flows for $2,000, monthly management, one email a week, 1,500. Is this good? What would you recommend? What deals do you sell to clients? So yeah, first of all, I wouldn't just blindly copy what I do, because we charge about $150 an hour, and we basically try to calculate on our side like how much time it will actually cost us, because then I can also calculate kind of like how much time it actually takes one of my account managers to do it, and then I can calculate between the hourly salary and the project. Because even if you take 10 grand for an initial setup, as I showed you previously, like even if you take 10 or 20 grand for a setup, but then you have to audit, revamp, and recreate 120 flows, like that takes a lot of time. So I wouldn't just do like these fixed things, but rather be a little bit more flexible with what you offer as well. Monthly management, for example, one email a week, like could be good for a client, could be bad for a client, but yeah, I would just see what the person needs and then go with that. For example, just to give you an idea, we usually calculate with about 250 bucks per email because of the design process, the briefing, the revision, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how it works on our end. I hope that's interesting. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions or if you say, hey, David, talk about another topic, just let me know, because otherwise I will just try to entertain you as much as possible here. I was told not to use triple whales, so now with Amos, can I use both at the same time? I would actually, I'm sad that Ichi's not here to answer this, but yeah, you can probably use triple whale with Amos anyway. I mean, even in the account that I'm in right now here, I see I have it on the right here. We have triple whale and Amos, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I would definitely ask Ichi about that. How can you land a role in an agency? I've applied to a lot of agencies, but not able to land a role. I mean, at the end of the day, it's also a question about I'm really good at email marketing as a tech and strategist. Client comms have worked in two agencies. I want to build my own agency, but need clients for that. How do I get clients via LinkedIn? Should I follow you on how you post and what you post? Is that enough? Let me go with the first one. So I've applied to that you've applied to agencies. The thing is with the agencies is they obviously look for people that are perfect for their role that they are offering. So I would try to adjust as much as possible to their schedule. So, for example, when I worked for the American company, I had to work 9 to 5, but on their schedule. So I basically worked from I think it was 3 p.m. my time until into the midnight. So that was actually pretty crazy. So, for example, if you if you live in I don't know Germany and you are working with an American company, please make sure to yeah, to adjust to their schedule. So that's really important. But other than that, I would just try to also put a lot of work into it, like text different people in the company and try to land a position like that. Or you can obviously also build a LinkedIn like I did, because I could pretty much like if somebody in HR would see my profile and would see my track record, I would instantly be hired probably by at least a lot of agencies, not all of them obviously, but I can only recommend you for you to yeah, double down a little bit more on content, and then you have the proof out there already. Okay, Jim asked, thank you. I have to run. Very helpful webinar. Thank you so much for coming, Jim. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and see you next time. Then, thank you, David. I will try to set up a meeting with you. Okay, perfect, Jim. I'm looking forward to talking to you in real life. Perfect. See you then. Aren't you mad about the Klaviyo partnership program, 10% revenue share for 1 year? Omniscient had 30% for life. I think as a platinum, we have a little bit more and also for a little bit longer. But to be honest, with like 10%, like it sounds really, really bad. I know, but how much is 10% of their revenue? You know what I mean? Like it, I mean, one client pays us like 10 times that. So I would rather close one more deal, and have one more client than change the platform just for 30% for life. So it's nothing that I'm personally interested in. And I also think that you shouldn't be either. It's nice to have on the side, but yeah, I wouldn't look at the 10%. Look at closing more clients. Would you switch to Omnisend? Never. No, 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 no. I would not switch to Omnisend, not to Mailchimp, not to anything. I tried everything, but yeah, not my thing really. Agencies nowadays are looking for more for an account manager plus strategist combo. Seems like the Klaviyo tech role are almost gone. Um, yeah, I mean, account manager and strategist combo is, I mean, like, yeah, a Klaviyo tech role is something I'm also not seeing. I mean, the thing is, again, like I've worked for multiple, like for two agencies previously, and I've also seen multiple agencies from the inside, and the org chart always looks the same. Like you have the success manager, and then you have the account manager, and under the account manager, there are usually two designers. Sometimes you have someone technical, but there's no need for a technical person if the account manager can take over that. So you always try to be as lean as possible with stuff. And yeah, we also had a lot of people in the beginning. We hired way too many people in the beginning, and yeah, it didn't end up working, sadly. So yeah, we basically had to fire and start again. Okay, so what do you think about Instagram for lead gen? I haven't tried Instagram. I'm going to start with Instagram in the this year actually, but actually just personally. I will also talk a little bit about my agency, obviously, but I also want to show more about my personality actually, building a little bit of a personal brand because there's so much more to give to the world than just email marketing. So that's what I think. What's the best strategy if you want to grow on LinkedIn to get clients? Lead magnets. Um, Lead magnets are really, really good. Lead magnets are really good for reach, and through reach, you will actually get a lot more followers, and the right clients will also see your account. So, what I would always do, and you can also check that on my LinkedIn, I'm actually doing the exact same thing. Try to post lead magnets, for example, on Monday, and then on on Wednesday you actually post some case study or proof or anything, and then on Friday you can post some other stuff, maybe like a trick or something, a tip. And I basically did this for 1.5 years now, where I posted 3 times a week. I actually moved to a different country, to Switzerland recently, so my routine has been a little bit off. But those 3 posts would be how I would grow my LinkedIn again. So, oh, should you use Sona with Amos? I think that's all fine. Jim, you can ask Ichi. Which flows do you recommend apart from the basic flows? I think I already covered that. So, integration flows, obviously, 30-day activation, the one that I talked about a little bit earlier. So yeah, integration flows as in like loyalty, referrals, affiliate reviews, and stuff like that. And yeah, but the thing is, there's actually not that much that needs to be done outside of those. Like you can do 90% with those basic flows. You can get to 90% of the result with those basic flows. And only after that, once you've actually mastered those, and it's really hard to master those, believe me, then you should go to the or pivot to the next ones. But yeah, that's what I would say about that. If I have abandoned flows, browse cart checkout using Klaviyo triggers and also ones with triple whale triggers, should I create ones with Amos in addition to these other two? Yes, for sure. Because the thing is that Amos actually tracks on top of that as well. So we've had this in another account previously as well, and it definitely worked out well. And we actually ended up taking away the Shopify flows. So that's actually what helped us. It sounds a little bit crazy, I know, but yeah, that's for sure something I would recommend because in some accounts we're even only using the Amos ones because they just yeah bring in all the revenue essentially or the all the extra revenue. But yeah, obviously if you want to tell if there's an actual uplift between Amos and the normal flows, then also have the normal flows live. But you could even run Amos without the normal flows. So that's that. Do you recommend using tools like retention to get the emails from web users? Does this hurt deliverability? It definitely hurts deliverability a lot. I've seen this a bunch of times. Retention is only is also not very DSGVO conform. So in Germany you can't use it. So yeah, I would. I would go ahead and try it. Obviously, we have it for a couple of clients in America, but to be honest, we've never had results where I would say, okay, retention is like the best tool. Just for your info as well, we have RB2B at Amos, which is kind of like the B2B solution from retention. So we are trying to also convert everyone who is on the Amos website, but it doesn't work at all. So yeah, our deliverability went down. There are nobody's really converting, and yeah, it's just overall pretty hard, I would say, with retention. So I wouldn't do that. What is the offer you give to your clients? Initial setup and then monthly management. Yeah, that always depends, Elise. It depends on the client, what they want, how big they are, whatever. We usually look at, let's say, at least 4 email campaigns a month, and then also one flow a month at least as a revamp. But then we also charge on top of that for strategy, consulting, and all of that stuff. Because usually, if you, for example, take $150 an hour and then take $250 for an email, you can't just charge $500 for 2 emails. You also have to charge a little bit on top in order to also be able to communicate, strategize, and stuff like that. So that's also really important. But yeah, I can also make a video about that in the future as well. Which magnets are best on LinkedIn? So for me, my things with expertise have worked best. So for example, my pop-up with a very high open rate. I've been posting that a couple of times actually over the year. Every 2, 3 months, I just repost the same post pretty much, and it has worked really well with the pop-up. Other than that, what would I say? Flows always perform very well. I mean, also this webinar is about flows for a reason because it has performed very well. But other than that, pretty much everything that helps people do better with email, that definitely helps. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, so there are not that many questions left. If you guys have any other questions, just drop them in. Drop them in. Obviously, I can also obviously, yeah, shut up at some point and go offline. But if you have any questions, just drop them now and let me see. Um, okay. Do you recommend a flow for best performing campaigns? Okay, let me see, Alex. I see we have Amos triggers already popping up in our Klaviyo account, so I would love to have a one-on-one meeting. Okay. Yeah, let's have a one-on-one meeting for sure. If you want, book a meeting through the website, through the Amos website with Yiqi. Or you can also book a one-on-one call with me. Just add me on LinkedIn. That's all fine. I have Amos triggers popping up. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, we can talk about that. The lead magnet should have an email subscription on the back or just simply in a doc. No, it should actually be that somebody has to, you will send it to them in a doc through DM if they follow you. So you basically say, hey, comment, I don't know, email flow in order to receive this lead magnet from me, and then you will basically go ahead and send it to them once they connected with you. So yeah, that's also how you gain followers. So before I go to the older questions, is there anything else you guys want to know? For sure. Anything that you want me to cover? I see all of you guys, by the way. I can see I can see who is in here still. So yeah, let's see. I will answer one older question so far. Do you recommend a flow for best performing campaigns? What is the roadmap of new email marketer who wants to build his own agency? I think I answered that already. Oh, CTR rate is low. But okay, guys, seems like we've pretty much answered everything regarding the last comment here with pitch my services via Loom. Please just text me on LinkedIn, and everything will be sorted. If you don't have any other questions anymore, guys, thank you so much for taking part in this webinar. Let me quickly see ideas surrounding email frequency. What should the ratio be of automated flows versus daily campaigns? Okay, this is the last thing I will answer for now. Or if there's anything from from anyone else, you can also ask me something. Ideas surrounding email frequency. So usually I go with one email a week per audience. So for example, I would send a VIP email once a week to all the VIPs, then one email a week to 30, 60, 90 days engaged customers, and so on. So that would basically be the idea regarding the email frequency. And the ratio between automated flows and daily campaigns should usually be between 50-50 is obviously very, very good. But it can also go as far as 70-30. If it's north of that, so for example, 80-20, there's probably something wrong, or it's a very specific case. And yeah, so those are my 2 cents around it. Yeah, okay. Is there anything else you guys want me to cover? Otherwise, I would just Hamad. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Means a lot. Thank you, Hamad, for joining. That means a lot more for me even. This is my very first webinar. Thank you, Alex. This was my very, very first webinar ever. And yeah, thank you for being a part of this. Can't wait to have you one-on-one. Me too. Yeah, it was a pleasure to entertain you guys. I hope you could learn something from it. And yeah, see you next time, guys.